This is one of the most disturbing things I've seen on TikTok. What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, I have a horrifying video for you today. Essentially, I was tagged on this page on TikTok, and it is about a woman's story. She is in prison in Florida, and she has posted her story, and she has posted the conditions in which she has to live and how the prison is treating people, and that's what we're gonna get into today. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Jess. I'm a prison content creator who has in fact been to prison. I now have a bachelor's degree in correctional program support services, and this channel is about prison reform, addiction, my crazy ass life, and all of those kinds of things. If you want to follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, that's $2. It's only ever gonna be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my podcast. All right, let's kick this thing off. Full transparency, I have not watched all of these. I started watching a couple of them and I immediately turned it off and saved them to my phone, and we're gonna watch it here together. I have been tagged on this page so many times I can't even keep track. Part of me was very hesitant to listen to her story because it's triggering and it's awful. For those of you that don't know, I gave birth while I was in prison, and she also gave birth. And we're gonna hear about it. I'm gonna put headphones in and we're gonna watch it together for the first time.
Oh, fuck. These are Android headphones.
All right, we're gonna watch all of these all the way through, starting with her story. And I think she's at Lowell Correctional Facility, because she says LCI, but I'm not exactly sure. And I also think that her charges was possession of drugs.
Hey guys, this is Kate coming from LCI with Prison News, with the days are as dark as black coffee. So I've decided it's important to tell you a very personal story of mine. Last Christmas I found out I was pregnant just 2 weeks before being sentenced. My doctor said my baby was at risk and it was urgent that I be seen. I told my judge, but my judge denied me access to that appointment and sent me to prison. 6 months later, just an hour after my baby was born, she died in my arms. We may not be able to change what I suffered, but hopefully what I'm about to tell you will change things for others.
Before we even go to part 2, oh my God. I am so blessed that my daughter survived, because so many babies don't. Oh God, I just want to hug her. I can't imagine what she fucking went through. I just want to give her a hug.
Part 2. So when I came to prison, I was housed with 8 other pregnant women. It is law to be provided supplemental food, but I never received any. Dinner was served at 2 p.m. and breakfast was 15 hours later. I was so weak and hungry that me and the girl next to me were eating Tums just to satiate our hunger. I did not receive prenatals for the first 5 weeks, and the antibiotics prescribed to me, I didn't get for 55 days. Can you imagine going to the pharmacy and them telling you your antibiotics will be ready in 55 days? That's crazy. After 2.5 months of being told that my baby was not at risk, I finally got to go to a hospital. We left at 3 a.m. without breakfast or a packed lunch. With 2 officers handcuffed, I found out I was having a little girl. I also found out that she had anencephaly. Her brain was exposed and vulnerable. To eliminate misconception, it is due to malnutrition or environmental factors. I did not do drugs. The officers were so incompassionate that they were laughing and telling stories while I was devastated, crying. They denied me lunch, they ate in front of me, and at that point I hadn't eaten in 22 hours. So the prison doctor wanted to induce labor in which the pressure on her brain would have stopped her heart. I said no. I was 6 months pregnant at that point. I wanted a C-section and a specialist. My life was also at risk. It is law that I am entitled to equal access to medical care as though I'm not incarcerated. But I never even got to go back to the hospital for another appointment. I wasn't tested for gestational diabetes. I gained 40 pounds of water weight. My arms and legs were going numb. I was too weak to get out of bed. Any help I found was hindered because they wouldn't release my medical record.
I hope that there is a lawsuit coming, and trust and believe I'm gonna write her and reach out to her, and if there's something that I can do to help or even just encourage her, I'm going to. Oh my God. I know that a lawsuit doesn't help what happened. A lawsuit is never going to bring her baby back, but what the fuck is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? This is America. How is this okay? How is it okay to treat pregnant women like this? To deny them medical access, to deny them basic things that they need as a pregnant person. Like, okay, yeah, she broke the law. Cool. How is this okay? How is this okay? I know that a lot of people think that inmates don't have rights, but they do have basic rights, and they have the right to safe living conditions. They have the right to medical care. If you are going to house pregnant women in jail, you have to make sure that they are okay. It is my suggestion that if you are pregnant and you are not like a fucking serial killer or you're not at risk to anyone, go home on house arrest, have your baby, then go to prison. Like, why is that hard? Why can't we just postpone a prison sentence for a few months? What is the harm in that? Like, our judicial system isn't slow enough. Like, they can postpone trials for years, but they can't postpone a low-level drug crime for a few months so that the baby is okay and the mom is okay. Like, why is that hard? Most women are serving time on nonviolent drug offenses or petty crimes, or they were caught up with someone else. I'm not making excuses for them, but in reality, a pregnant woman is probably not at risk to like hurt someone in society. I believe that prison should be a place that keeps dangerous people, predators, serial killers, dangerous people out of society. Not drug addicts, but she wasn't a drug addict, she sold drugs. Like, I get it. Okay, she deserved prison time. She does not deserve to give birth to her baby and an hour later have that baby die. She does not deserve to be neglected and treated the way that she was. Oh, this just makes me so fucking mad. I don't even know what to say. It makes me so mad. So she goes on to make other videos that I really want to show you guys. I did watch this one, the elderly in prison one. These are being recorded from like video chats or whatever. So she is video chatting with someone and they are recording what she is saying. And you can see the background in a couple of her videos, but this legit, she there. Oh my God.
As far as mistreatment, I'd like to address the elderly, the neglect, and the treatment that they are receiving. I have met the elderly that will die in prison. They will never go home, even though they don't carry a murder charge. I've met old women with dementia that don't even know where they are. I've met women completely blind, stumbling around covered in feces, asking for help. They force inmates to tend to them, and it is their job title, whether they want to be it or not. I witnessed on 2 separate occasions inmate aides actually slit their wrists in hopes of getting a new job title because it was unbearable to think about continuing taking care of these elderly patients. These patients were covered in bed sores and needed medical help that they were not receiving. I do know that officers treated the elderly worse than they did general population. Oftentimes, these elderly would be standing at the window begging for pads or toilet paper just to be ignored. Also, their dorms smelled like pure septic. It was horrible. It's horrible.
I can't imagine being an elderly person, having dementia, not knowing where you are, and not having anyone to help you. I just can't imagine this, and I don't understand how this is still happening. Like, how is this okay? How is this okay? There's so many violations that she's talking about right now. Like, this is so fucking illegal. A video about toilet paper, I could only imagine.
I also wanted to touch on hygiene supplies. Every week we're given 2 small rolls of toilet paper. It almost never lasts. By Monday, nobody has toilet paper. They don't give you more if you're on your period or after you have your baby. A lot of times we don't have pads or tampons either. We have to reuse trash bags. Almost always, like, we'll just dump out the trash and then reuse it, like wash the bag out. Also in J-dorm, the septic situation's pretty bad. When you walk into the bathroom, like, raw sewage will seep up around the tile floor.
Raw sewage. Raw sewage. Ooh, y'all better help me boost this video. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Every time I've talked about toilet paper in prison, people are like, if you wanted more toilet paper, you shouldn't have broken the law.
That doesn't help anyone, Kyle. Shut the fuck up.
Also, it's not Cottonelle. We're not talking about Cottonelle, where it's like good toilet paper where you don't need to use a lot. We're talking about small rolls of toilet paper that are the thinnest, tiniest little sheets of nothing toilet paper. Not single ply. I swear to God, it's like half ply. Like, it is the worst toilet paper you could ever possibly imagine because it's so thin. So just in order to like not get poop, I just hate to be gross, but like in order to not get stuff on your hands, like you have to use a little bit more than you normally would in the street. And women need more toilet paper than men because we have to wipe every time we pee. We have our period. She didn't get extra toilet paper after she had a baby. Neither did I. Not having pads or tampons. These are not luxuries. These are basic necessities that women need in prison. This is not a luxury. It's not like she is getting on the internet and saying like, I would really like a deep tissue massage. I would really like just some relaxation time and like, you know, a Tempur-Pedic mattress. No, she's like, we don't have toilet paper and there is septic coming out of the freaking drains. Like, this is so unsafe. It's not just unsafe to the inmates, it is unsafe for the staff as well, because raw sewage is a fucking problem. It is a health risk. Not having pads and tampons and having blood just everywhere, that creates a danger and a risk also, because blood is blood. Ugh, like this just makes me so crazy. They are violating so many laws. They are breaking the law by not having clean living conditions and safe living conditions. They are breaking the law by mistreating and neglecting elderly inmates. They're breaking the law in the way that they treated her as a pregnant inmate. This is so illegal that I can't even fucking stand it. There is this mentality in this country that is just so gross and cruel. Not everyone. I know the Ride or Die crew has my back on this subject. If you're following me, then you probably support prison reform. But I post to a lot of different social media platforms on the internet. TikTok, Instagram. You know, it is very toxic, the things that I see. Like, oh, stop complaining and do your time. If it was you in that situation, how would you feel? If it was your mother that was elderly and couldn't get help and she had bed sores and she was covered in feces and couldn't get medical attention. If it was your daughter calling you from jail saying, or calling you from prison saying, I can't get pads or tampons or toilet paper. I don't know what to do. There's raw sewage coming out of the ground. Like, what would you do? How would you feel then? The idea that people in prison are the most evil people in the world is also such a freaking myth. The war on drugs fuels mass incarceration, and that is why our prisons are filled. That's why we have 2.2 million Americans in jails and prisons today. That's why. Because when we make substance use disorder, which is a disease, you can Google it. I didn't make that up. When you demonize and criminalize a disease, you're going to flood the prison system. And they knew that. They knew that when they made those laws back in the fucking 80s. And in 2022, we know prison doesn't work. We know what we're doing is wrong. We know this is inhumane. We know that this is not acceptable and this is illegal and this is not okay. We know that. We have all of the data. We have all the numbers. Everyone fucking knows. Every politician knows. They know that this is not okay, and they're not doing anything about it because so many things in this country are built off the backs of the suffering. For-profit prisons create so much revenue for this country for huge corporations like Boeing. Have you ever bought a uniform, scrubs, or any of that? I bet you that was made by a freaking inmate. License plates, American flags, military equipment, Boeing aircraft. The only reason that we're not backpedaling on what we are doing right now with our prison system is because it makes a lot of freaking money. So the next time that you want to complain, my tax dollars shouldn't go to inmates, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand what you're talking about. You should not want money to go to abuse and mistreatment of human beings. I'm willing to bet that if it was another country doing this to its citizens, Americans would have a lot to say then. But why is it when it's here? Why can't we do mental gymnastics to make excuses for how absolutely fucking disgusting our prison system is? I get told about 25 times a day the same regurgitated comments. Shouldn't have broken the law. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Stop whining. Accept responsibility. Take accountability. It's your own fucking fault. Your trauma is your fault. All day, every day. I guess there is just some things that unless you experience it, you will never understand. Unless you experience what I'm talking about, what people like Kay are talking about, what prison content creators are talking about, until you experience it, you just will never understand how helpless, how dehumanizing, how traumatizing, and how gross our system is, how evil our system is. I would love it if the Ride or Die crew came together to send her postcards or a brief letter telling her that you saw her on TikTok and you heard her story, and just encourage her to not give up and to keep telling her story and to keep fighting no matter how hard that gets. I'm going to do the same. Hopefully we will get to hear from her, and hopefully she is going to file a lawsuit because this is not acceptable. It's absolutely gut-wrenching to think that she lost her baby in there. She's not the only one that has lost a baby because of that. And the way that it's looking, she will not be the last. We have to come together and fight together if we want to see lasting and meaningful change. If you are struggling with addiction, or you know someone struggling with addiction, I'm a partner with Groups Recover Together, and they're available for both online and in-person treatment. They believe in harm reduction and medically assisted treatment. I always leave my landing page with them in the description box of every single video. If you want to see more videos like this, or my story, I will leave a playlist on the card up here. I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery. Let's come together so that we can change how horrible our system is. And I will see you guys in my next one.